Regrets lead to burnout. It was late spring in Boston when I stepped out of a conference center for a walk. It was day 3 of a long conference that was cramming information into my brain, and I needed a chance to get some fresh air. I walked down a block, and I was lost in my own thoughts as I looked across the river and saw Cambridge and MIT, and I was stopped by a young woman, late teens, early 20s, and she was holding a clipboard and was asking if I'd take a survey. Lost in thought, I expected that she was some college student trying to complete a project for class, so I agreed. And she walked me half a block back the way I'd come from to the Church of Scientology building. I took the standardized test by filling in the bubbles on an answer sheet, and then I waited in a small room where someone could come and read the results to me. One of the first questions was whether I had any regrets. In an unusual moment of clarity, I answered no. And then I went on to explain, I like who I am, and I need every experience to be the person I am today. I can't have regrets if I like who I am. It would be years before I realized the power of these simple remarks and how they help me to become more resistant to burnout. So it's the power of regret. Regret is a powerful emotion that robs us of our accomplishments and of their worth. Our ability to get things done, and therefore our immunity to burnout, relies on the simple premise that we are doing good work. When we regret, we take away the awareness of our potential and question whether we're doing the right things, even if we are able to do them. Burnout is defined by exhaustion, cynicism, and inefficacy, but it's inefficacy that's at the core. If we feel ineffective, then we'll become exhausted and cynical. When we feel regret, we may feel as if we're somewhat effective, but we question whether the effects we're having are the right ones or whether they're enough. There's a degree of acceptance that we need to grant ourselves, but we don't always. This is particularly true of the actions we don't take but feel as if we should. It seems we're more attuned to regret things we didn't do than the things we did. As a result, we often find ourselves wondering, are we doing enough? Or, more dramatically, if we are enough. Enough for what? That's the question. But that's the question that rarely gets asked. Through acceptance of who we are, we can accept that we're enough for where we are, even if we are not exactly where we'd like to be at this moment. Somewhere along the way, many of us have failed to learn an important lesson, that failure is okay as long as it's not fatal. We fail to learn that we can and will get things wrong if we're willing to try. The more we try, the more we'll be wrong, but more importantly, the more we'll be right. If we allow our regrets to paralyze us and prevent us from doing the things we know are right and we can do, then we'll eventually fall into the pit of burnout through our quite realistic lack of efficacy. Learning to accept ourselves for who we are, both the good and the bad, may be one of the best ways to neutralize regret and to protect ourselves from burnout.